உங்களின் இல்லங்களையும் வாழ்வையும் இனிதே ஒளிமயமாக்கிட GT ராயலின் தீப்பெட்டிகள். தரமானது, பாதுகாப்பானது.
How do you look at the situation right now in Venezuela? In the latest development, as Donald Trump posted on his social media handle in Truth Social, he declared himself as the acting president of Venezuela. How do you look at that, sir?
I think you are, giving more attention to what he writes than he himself probably gives. He writes all kinds of nonsense. He talks all kinds of nonsense. So don't take everything what he says writes so seriously. Today he says one thing, tomorrow he changes it. You remember in the case of Brazil, Bolsonaro was his friend and he imposed 50% tariff on Brazil, and he imposed extraordinary sanctions on the judges who were conducting their trial against Bolsonaro. And then one day, Bolsonaro has been dropped dead. Now he's doing business with Lula. So give him time.
As after the military action which took place in Venezuela, after that Trump tweeted and he claimed that interim authority would handle over 30 to 50 barrels of what he described as the high quality sanctioned oil. Regarding the Latin America, sir, because he has been giving statements regarding Latin America, how do you read the situation right now?
You should not take all that he says and writes so seriously. Sometimes he himself doesn't know what he's writing. But in this point about taking those 40 million barrels of oil, so these were all already produced by the National Oil Company of Venezuela. Because of the blockade of the ports and the seizure of the vessels, so they couldn't ship them. So they have been storing it. So if these inventories are not exported or released, then they have to stop the pumps, and so it's a serious situation. So that is why it's a good opportunity for Venezuela to sell these one. Anyway, the money, he's not going to eat them away. He is going to put in an escrow account, and eventually some dollars will go. Actually, it's I find that there is emerging cooperation between Trump and the Venezuelan regime seriously. Now, there's besides giving asking the American companies to go into Venezuela for oil, the Americans have already given licenses to 2 Swiss companies. One is called Trafalgar and another one called Vitol, to buy Venezuelan oil from the National Oil Company and sell it in the market. And even Reliance is seeking permission from the American administration. So things are working out. For the Venezuelans, oil is life and death. If they don't export oil, if they don't get dollars, they are dead. Because they have ignored all their resources, their agriculture, industry, mining, and manufacturing, and they are addicted only to oil, one and only oil. So that is why he has strangled Venezuela, and by stopping the export of oil, and already because of sanctions, the production has been paralyzed. So the Venezuelans were desperate to get export oil and get dollars. Now it is moving in that direction. So their oil is going to move both to America and to others. Even the American Secretary of Energy, in one of his statements, he said that he did not rule out the oil going to China, because already the oil price is so low, about $50 or so. So they had to sell and get money for the Americans and as well as for the Venezuelans. Yeah, it is.
What kind of impact it can have for the petrodollar equation? Because he has been talking about the Monroe Doctrine for the other regions as well. What kind of impact it can have for the petrodollar, according to you, sir? What kind of impact?
You see, earlier they were selling oil to China mainly as barter payment for the $60 billion credit China has given to Venezuela. So they were not getting money and they were getting very low discounted prices. But now people are talking that Venezuelan oil is going to be priced at the commercial rates and they are going to get dollars. And that's what the Venezuelans need at this time.
And regarding the now the interim president is also there in Venezuela. What's the way ahead, according to you, sir?
I think it is stabilizing. You see, people thought the country is going to collapse or the Americans are going to walk in and there's going to be bloodshed, civil war like it happened in Iraq or Afghanistan. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen tomorrow or the next year or the next 2-3 years. It's going to stabilize. And that lady Machado, the opposition leader, she is not going to come back and become president, because if she comes back, she has to fight the interim president, the defense minister, the interior minister, the military, all the leftist armed Chavista militants. So she would not be able to manage the current regime. That is why Trump has cleverly let the interim president to continue. Because if the opposition leader comes to take power here, there will be chaos. It will be like an Iraq situation. So it is stabilizing. The oil is moving, and the interim government has released some political prisoners, and it is stabilizing.
He also talked about the Greenland after Venezuela. He kept on talking about Greenland as well. Said that he doesn't want, if we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland. What's your analysis, sir? It's going towards
I
the
think
Greenland.
we should support it. We should support that he takes Greenland and screw the Europeans. Because earlier the Europeans and Americans had joined to screw the global south. So it is time that the Europeans who colonized the whole world, caused all the problems, they get a taste of what they gave to other people. He should attack Greenland, and he should also kidnap the prime minister of Denmark, like he did with the Venezuelan president. It'd be fun. Why not?
This brings me
Why
to the
only
last
the third
question.
world leaders?
This brings me to the last question, sir. About what should be India's approach with this whole situation which is developing in that region? What should be Indian approach should be?
I think we keep quiet and see what's happening. And it's going to be better for us because our interest is oil, and oil is moving. And in the medium and long term, we would be able to have access to the Venezuelan oil. And we had invested a couple of $1 billion by ONGC, but because of the sanctions and all these problems, they were not able to pay us. But now once the situation stabilizes and they start paying the American companies for all their past dues, and we can also put in our claim, it's not going to be that bad for India. Of course, I mean, it's a violation of international law and kidnapping a president. That's a separate thing. But purely from the bilateral point of view, it's not that bad. We are not losing anything, and we are likely to gain something.
And what would be the oil situation or the oil supply situation across the globe then, with these developments taking place, with this turmoil environment?
The more oil is going to come. You see, Venezuela at one time used to export about 3.5 million barrels per day. Right now, it is producing only about 700,000 to 800,000 barrels per day. And they can ramp it up to over 1 million plus barrels immediately. Chevron is already there. And they are going to increase more. The more oil which comes into the market, it's good for India. We are one of the largest importers. And the price will go down. It's good for us.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.